Hello and welcome to the AFL Fend podcast, and I'm joined in the room filled with hero today. My name's Sam Jones, and this is Andrew Edward Carter. What is going on, buddy?
Not much.
We're up to round 20.
I know.
I'm actually...
Supercoach finals week.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Are you in the finals?
Everyone's in them. Well, yeah, I am.
I don't know.
I finished top of the table, mate.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So, why aren't you hosting this podcast?
This is not a Supercoach podcast.
So, what's your team's name?
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
So, wait, how many wins did you have?
I only dropped one game.
So, how many games did you play?
19.
You played 19 games. Wait, is that
It's been
include
19
final?
up till now, and then the finals.
So you've won
last
18
3
games.
Yeah.
Oh wow. why aren't teams hiring you as their GM?
I don't know. I do not know. But my league's pretty shit.
Is it a random league?
It's a random league,
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad's killing me in the normal league. He's smashing me.
I must say, I'm actually pretty surprised that we have been able to commit 20 weeks of this.
Well, we haven't, because we started round 3.
Round 3, I think it was. Yeah.
Round 3.
All right, well, let's say 4 months we've been able to commit
Yeah,
to
it's
something like
fucking
this.
incredible.
I'm actually pretty
It's
surprised.
stupid how well we've done doing this.
We're going to have to...
Well, no, we haven't done well, but the commitment-wise, we've almost gotten it online every Tuesday. Generally, it's every
week.
it's at least every week. I mean, today's fucking Wednesday, so you'll be watching this on Friday, that's for sure.
We're missing a member of the
Yeah.
team today. It actually feels cozy with 2 people behind you.
It's nice.
It's nice. I don't think it can fit 3.
No big flog in the middle.
We should have like another camera, and then we can have like a bar set up. So then we cross over.
Oh, we
to the
cross
bar.
over to Nick at the bar.
Nick at the bar.
I like it. He's
You
not, yeah, but he's probably about as funny as Trevor Marmalade these days. So
Who else they have? You know the front bar.
yeah,
Who do they have behind there? Do they have
it's
different
just
people?
different people. They just
Yeah.
have guests, and then they'll have someone sit at the table with them.
Okay. Well, that's alright then. That's what we need. We need to
We
upgrade
need a
to
bar.
that. We need to upgrade to that.
We're going to channel 31.
We got a channel. We'll start
We're
any
public
channel
access.
on analog TV.
Analog
TV.
We're going to be on DOS. Don't know how that'll work, but we'll be there.
Let's start off with So, what interesting from the weekend was Eddie Maguire comes out when Collingwood lose a game, and he says that
Ugly too.
all the umpires, including the boundary umpires and the goal umpires, should umpire, as in like make
calls.
decisions on the field and stuff.
That's stupid.
Isn't it?
It's so stupid.
So
you know,
bad.
fucking. I mean, did you know the boundary umpires don't even wear fucking boots? They wear runners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so do they have little stops in them?
I
Like
think they're just wearing runners. That's how important they are. They don't
They-
even get good boots.
they do have like really,
Flipping
they're
slide
really
into it. focused
focused when they're doing their throw-ins. If you've ever seen an boundary
yeah.
umpire, they get like, take deep
I don't
breath,
even
they
notice
line it
before,
up,
but when it leaves their hand, they do a little turn.
a little turn.
And it's funny.
In the gym and
It's-
stuff.
It's a real etiquette. It's a real etiquette.
That's,
No,
what that's what they must, on the umpiring exam, they must have to do a
that
practical,
That little sachet.
little turn.
Little twirl. Little pirouette.
And then, even when they're running back from centre bounces and stuff, they start on the corners of the squares,
Yeah.
and then they sprint back to
Why do they do that?
the boundary line, and they turn very quickly, they pivot, and then they backtrack, like graciously backwards.
Maybe just focus on throwing the fucking ball.
Improperly.
Who calls? So the boundary umpire. The other thing that they call is if it's out of bounds.
Out of bounds on the full and stuff, yes. And they want the field umpire, the goal umpire also to call potentially. He wants Eddie Maguire to call free kicks. For example, if I'm holding you in the goal square and stuff,
Well, there's just going to be too many free.
Too many free kicks.
There's going to be way too
there's
many.
gonna be like 100 free kicks a game.
Leave it alone.
So you know what that old saying is? Less is more.
Yeah.
The games are better when there's less free kicks paid.
Yeah, I agree.
It
But
is
but if you're a supporter watching, it's more frustrating as well when less free kicks are paid.
You're
You're scratching your hair out if somebody's holding the ball and they don't call it.
that's the inconsistency of the umpire. So if you jump on the ball and there's no chance of you, for example, there's no chance of you getting out, but the 5 guys jump on you, and they call it holding the ball.
That's I don't like that.
So that there's no prior opportunity there.
Not really, no.
But then, like, for example, if I'm like touching your arm, that's a nice arm
Your
right
hands
there.
are so cold.
Oh, they are cold. But if I'm touching, I'm touching your
touch the
jacket.
materials.
If I'm touching your jacket, and then in a ball up contest or a throwing contest, and I'm just like next to you like that, they'll call that holding the man.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
Well, they'll just call a free kick for perfect
Ruckcraft. We're always going to refer to that as
Ruckcraft.
Ruckcraft. So I don't think I just leave it as it is with the umpires. 3's enough on the field. You don't need to have too many.
You're overdoing it. It's going to cause conflict. And I mean, what if the goal umpire makes a call and then the field umpire differs on opinion?
Well, that's right.
Who are they going to go with? Will they go with the field umpire because they're more experienced, or will they go with the goal umpire because they're closer to the free kick?
These are the questions that the hierarchy in the NFL
These
needs
are the
to be
questions that
asking.
Eddie needs to answer when he has his mid-morning coffee with Gil. But goal umpires shouldn't be making any fucking decisions because they can't even call goals and behinds.
So why is that? Why? What happened? What happened?
Oh, what do you mean? What happened?
I didn't see what happened.
David Zaharakis, the little Greek goal snake, he has a shot. I think it was from outside 50. I can't
This was
remember.
actually late in the game, was it? Or
No. I
Okay.
think it was maybe mid-third quarter.
okay,
Has a shot at goal. Looks nice. Looks good.
looks good off the boot.
It looks good off the boot. Looks good going through the air. And most importantly, it looks good going through the sticks. Old mate's got his hand behind the goalpost. So the goalpost is here.
Yeah,
You're the goalpost. I'm the goal umpire.
yeah. I gotcha.
And the ball's here. The ball. Fucking. I don't even reckon the Gold Coast Suns player is the one that threw it back in. It was a fan in the cheer squad. That's how far back the fucking thing went.
I saw a picture of it. It was literally
It was clear.
over the line by that much.
It was. I reckon it was that much.
So,
But because of his action when he taped
it
it
came back in.
it came back in
And was called.
and it was called play on
Oh right.
because the goal umpire said it never crossed the line. But are you fucking kidding?
So aren't they meant to review all goal
Well,
line
they
decisions
can't
though?
because it wasn't a goal line decision because the umpire called that it was play on.
No.
And they had one in the Port Adelaide game the night before. I think it was the Port Adelaide game where the player stepped over the line, the point line,
Yeah,
and the ball was still in play.
and he called it.
And they called it. The goal umpire called it a point.
Yeah.
A behind.
Yeah,
Then they reviewed it.
yeah.
And the player's like, what the fuck? Like, I held the ball in play and I stood out the line.
Right.
And then obviously they did the goal review and it was nothing. It was no point. So they've stopped play.
So what do they call it then?
They
call it
I reckon.
a
I think
ball
they
up,
did
or-
a ball up. They did a ball up from the spot. But the thing is that Port Adelaide was away. So before it was called back, Port Adelaide was away.
Well, that's confusing.
It is confusing.
Okay.
And I think that's why the goal umpire on Sunday was a bit more hesitant to call
it,
a goal
yeah.
or to do a review because
Yeah.
he didn't want to hold up play.
But it cost us a goal.
It did cost us a goal, and Gill was absolutely shitting himself in the stands.
Because he was in
because
the
he was
stands.
like, "Fuck, please let Essendon win now."
Yeah.
Before that, he was like, "Come on, the Suns." but after that happened, he's like, "Essendon need to win, otherwise I am fucking rooted." And did you see Gill?
He looks so miserable.
He looks
so miserable. He was at
looks
another game.
terrible.
I think it was another game on Saturday. I don't think it was the Port game, but he was at another game on Saturday. Can't recall it, but he sat there like this.
And he's on his phone the whole fucking time.
He looks so disinterested. Doesn't want to be there.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. The only thing he cares about is if he's going to cop one on Monday, and he nearly fucking did. But the goal umpire, fair enough, he wasn't sure, or he was sure that it didn't go over. But I mean, he'd be able to.
But he was right. But he's right there.
He was right. He was right.
He's
there.
right there.
He
He's
was
looking
right
at it.
there. He was in the best position he could possibly.
It wasn't even a case though where it wasn't. It was so clear that it was over the line.
Clear.
It was so clear.
But it's absolutely clear after the fact when you watch it in slow motion and maybe even not slow motion. But it was the action of the Gold Coast player's hand that made it look. Because after he puts his hand on it, you can sort of see why the goal umpire thought that. But it was a goal. But I also don't like the idea of them stopping play.
Yeah.
But the goal umpire's just got to, I don't know. 10 years ago, we wouldn't have had this issue. This happened every fucking week, and no one bats an eye because you couldn't prove it.
Do you know who started all this? Do you know who started all this?
What do you mean?
This all rushing of behinds and goal line technology and stuff. You know, if you rush it behind, now it's deliberate. It all started from Joel Bowden
Oh, that's
when he played against Essendon
yeah,
in the Dream
yeah.
Time about 10, 12 years ago and kept
And they
rushing
kept
behind.
rushing it behind.
And then also Hawthorn in the grand final against Geelong in 08.
What did they do?
Where Geelong had 11-23 by the end of the game, but about 20 of those behinds were just Hawthorn players just hitting it in. So we'll thank Joel Bowden and the Hawthorn Football Club for where we're at now.
Thanks, mate. You really are.
Cheers, cheers. Speaking of the poor umpiring, I was at the Carlton game on Saturday. Carlton against Adelaide. I thought Carlton were. I can't understand. Brendan Bolton is probably the worst coach that's ever coached. He has to be. Because they look so.
What are they? 4 from 5?
But they look so much better.
Yeah, they're really bigger. But the thing is, they had spots earlier in the year where they looked really good. And then Bolton's like, no, we can't fucking have that. Can't have you playing well.
And he's probably made the worst coaching decision, arguably in the history. Even this is probably worse than Melbourne tanking in 09 for the Cruiser Cup. The Cruiser Cup. And not having Mark Murphy play in the middle is shocking by Brendan Bolton. He may never coach again.
Let's sack him.
Sack him from the sacked coaches.
Let's sack him. He's going to Bali or something. Sack him.
But the umpiring in that Carlton game, especially in the second half, was deplorable. Like, it was probably the worst
you've ever seen
exhibition of umpiring ever.
I didn't watch it.
It was so some of the.
What was some?
So
of the
Harry
points
Mackay,
Yep.
Harry Mackay took a mark and the ball's coming over his head and he's running with the fly of the ball into attacking 50. He's got a defender on his back. He's taking a mark at full speed, takes a couple of steps to slow down. And the umpire calls it a play on.
Oh my god!
And it was the girl umpire as well, Eleni. And we'll get to Eleni in a second.
We'll get to Eleni
Gluftus. But I must say, it was the crowd. I had fans in front of me, and I was sitting there.
How'd
laughing.
you go?
I was there, and I had fans in front of me, and they're going, "You'll never get another game, darling. You're shit. You're horrible."
Oh god.
They were going nuts, the Carlton fans.
Well, they would. Why do they keep doing that? This play on shit.
Yeah.
Like,
even when they take them up and they walk backwards.
And they walk in a straight line.
Yeah, and they go
originally
play
it was
on.
like if you go off your line. But there are other instances where they fucking go right off their line and it's not called. Especially in the back line. When a backman takes a mark and they go way off their fucking line. No one gives a shit.
But it seems to be in the a forward or defensive 50 into like attacking 50. If a player takes a mark and then he runs back and he turns around and he hesitates to go or he takes a step, but he's not playing on. He's not going off his line. But they don't even move and they call play on.
Yeah, if you're not going off your line, it's not play. How can you possibly call it play on?
Just drawing a picture there.
Just keep drawing a little 3D shapes.
We'll go into Eleni. What's her name?
Eleni Gluftus.
Well, look,
or Eleni. Eleni or Eleni?
Eleni.
I'm not 100% sure. Eleni. I think it's.
We'll call her Gluftus. She didn't have a great day. she didn't,
because now she's going to marry a spud.
I saw the guy she's marrying actually too.
He's a spud.
He's skinny.
He's a boundary umpire.
He's really skinny.
He's a spud.
Is he a boundary umpire?
He's a boundary umpire.
Oh.
And it was the first game that ever
done together.
And
do you reckon they've met before?
Oh, who knows? This is someone had to snap her up because she's the only female umpire.
No, there's the goal umpire.
She's a goal umpire.
What's her name?
I don't know, but she's
alright.
She's good.
She's alright. She's probably the better one of the lot.
Well, yeah.
Chelsea,
that's it.
She's been around for years.
She would have called Zaha's goal a goal.
She would have. She'd be like, nah, I know it. I got this.
I know what the fuck's up. But so it was the first game that they ever umpired together.
Yeah. And it was after the game.
And after the game, I think they were in the race, and he goes, "Oh, we'll go out and we'll take a photo on the ground to commemorate our first game."
Oh.
Umpired together.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen an umpire just stroll back onto the ground after the game?
No.
Do you reckon they'd even be allowed to do that? Do you reckon anyone's allowed? Once the ground's vacated, do you reckon anyone's ever allowed?
No, there was people still there.
So how quickly were they still on the ground?
Because straight after a game, the umpires get together and they all walk off.
They would have had their little huddle, and then they would have
walked off,
and all the umpires would have been wise to it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And then they would have walked back on. They walked back on, took a photo, and then he
didn't even look surprised. She didn't look happy. She didn't. It's like, what the fuck are you doing, Keith? Well, what's his
in
name?
this, she's
I don't
like,
know his
you're
name.
going to propose to me while I'm
While
wearing this? While wearing
What
this?
the fuck? I've just fucking umpired the worst game
In my
the
life.
in the history of the AFL, and you're gonna fucking propose to me? Get fucked. No, he looks like a real spark.
Do you reckon they would have all gone out in their umpiring gear after that?
That's
Maybe
what
had
they
some
do,
drinks
because
and
they
stuff?
want to get bashed. That's why. Could you imagine? Can you imagine they just go down to the pub next to the old Etihad Stadium or the G, whatever the fuck they
The G,
play.
yeah.
Just go out in Richmond. They'd get absolutely. Imagine the Carlton supporters.
They'd be in Lygon, so they
No,
go down
why?
Lygon Street.
No,
They go
no,
down
Lygon.
they go on Lygon. Go for some pizza or a coffee.
I don't know. Maybe they. Where did the Adelaide fans go if they win? Well, they don't win, so they don't know where the fuck to go.
Would you ever propose to someone on the MCG? Would you
I-
ever
I
propose to
don't
someone
know.
in public? Would you like to
No.
propose in public? Yeah.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No.
I couldn't do it.
No. Why would you do that? I wouldn't even propose.
It's funny. What's one of the great? One of my friends. He just came back from Europe from soccer. He proposed to his girlfriend on a hot air balloon.
Yeah, but then you got that bloke there. You ever been on a hot air balloon?
I've never been.
I haven't, but I've seen videos of people trying to talk on hot air
Yeah.
balloons.
It's like-
I'll be like mid sentence and then.
Sorry, what was that? What?
William. Horrific, absolutely horrific.
And what if like a gust of wind came down or something, and you're trying to put the ring on someone's
And
finger,
the ring just-
and the ring flew off into the air? You know.
Unbelievable. It'd just add to the story. That's what they'd say. They'd be pissed at the time, and then years later they'd be like, "Oh, it's so funny," and it's like, "No, that was a fucking 20 grand rock," and you just fucking pissed it away because you want to be a flog and get in a hot air fucking balloon.
So yeah, it was a very eventful day at the MCG on Saturday. But Carlton were very good. They actually played quite well,
Carlton are good.
and they're going all right. at the moment.
What did I say at the start of the year?
I can't remember what happened last week.
I said they get 8 wins
Yeah,
this year, and then I changed it to 6. They got 6
we got
wins.
6 rounds, right?
They got 6 wins.
Well, they look like they're gonna maybe win another couple. Although,
Mathematically, they could make the final.
if you look at
Mathematically, they could.
if you look at who they've played,
Yeah.
let's just take a deep breath on Carlton.
Adelaide's a pretty good win.
Not right now.
Not right now.
Not
but
right
it's,
now.
It's still.
And they beat the Suns last week.
Yeah, but I mean,
They
prior
beat-
to that, they couldn't beat anyone, so it's a step up.
So so they're winning
Didn't they beat
games.
the Bulldogs?
No, they lost to the Bulldogs.
Oh,
They lost to Melbourne as well.
Didn't they beat the Bulldogs the first time around?
They did the first time.
That's
Yeah. Okay, and they've also
They beat Melbourne.
they lost to Melbourne
Oh.
by 5 points.
Well, Melbourne are the best team to ever be 17 on the ladder.
Apparently. We'll talk about Melbourne. They've been pretty poor.
So. Oh, they're terrible.
Nathan Jones with his contract.
Oh yeah, he's getting $50,000 a year, and
No, he's getting two. So the average,
and a couple of raises for his scalp.
the average for an AFL player is about 340 or 350 per year, and he was offered 260 plus incentives and stuff, and I think that's a little bit like for a guy
For a co-captain.
who's been there
the
for nearly
club.
300 games.
Yeah, he didn't have to stick around.
And
for
he,
shit club.
he was during a time when they were so
Absolutely
bad.
horrific. Where they had to get priority picks over that. bad.
Yeah, and they tanked to get
They
first
did.
round picks.
Yeah.
That was so bad.
So
No,
they were terrible.
I think they're the only team in history to lose by 186 points at Geelong.
Probably, yeah.
Far out. And you can't. And you're gonna say, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. You know.
And you know what makes it worse? They got a fucking pretty good list.
Yeah.
They got a really good list. I just don't understand. I don't understand.
Is it the coaching?
It has to be.
So I
Paul Roos got there. They
were right.
They turned him around in a very short space
Yeah.
of time. He was only there 3 years.
yeah,
And then Simon Goodwin comes in, has a poor year, has a good year,
and then
and then
this is actually a bottomed out year for them.
It is.
It's poor.
it is.
And
And,
they've
with
got
the
to-
amount of talent that they have, it just doesn't matter. It has to be coaching.
Well,
Max Gawn could fucking win a game on his own. Like,
I don't think I've seen a team that's made a prelim 1 year, and they were playing so well last year,
No,
and
really
then
not.
to only win 5 games this year out of 19
Unbelievable.
is really poor.
It's unbelievable. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. If they had have sacked Goodwin 6 weeks ago, they'd be 5-1 right now. So.
Well, it's true because the interim coaches and Brett Ratton had a big win again.
So actually, on Melbourne,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they are number one for inside 50s.
Yeah.
And they're 17th from scoring from
Oh,
inside
really?
50s. Yeah.
Well, you said this. Jesse Hogan.
Jesse Bloody Hogan.
Jesse Bloody Hogan.
He's not even playing
not
at the moment,
there.
is he?
He's not at Freo, and everyone
He's
misses him.
nowhere.
And everyone misses
Everyone's
him.
missing him. Everyone wants a slice of the Hogan.
That's why Ross
Oh,
Lyon's
stop.
in. That's why Ross Lyon's in trouble because Jesse's not
Jesse's
there.
not there.
And with Jesse not being there, that McDonald guy up forward for Melbourne, he's has a poor year. Tom McDonald.
Yeah, Tom McDonald. He had one good game and then he got injured. I think.
Yeah, I remember actually when they did win. I think they beat Freo down here about 5 weeks ago, and Dwayne Russell was like, "Oh, this could be the turning point for
The
Melbourne.
floodgates have opened.
Yeah, the confidence is up. They're coming the D's."
Do you know-
And then all the players after they won, they all hugged each other. They cried. They
No, that's
were
right,
patting each
yeah.
other on the back. And they were interviewing Tom McDonald. He goes, "Oh, it's just great to get
Oh,
a win.
yeah,
It's
it's
great.
fucking amazing,
About
yeah.
time. You know, we played badly. I reckon this could be the turning
Yeah,
point."
fucking 2 wins off betting on the bottom of the ladder.
And the only team that they're on top of is the expansion club of 9 years
Exactly
ago.
right, yeah.
Who
The worst
who
one.
had a home game on the weekend against the Bombers,
And played alright.
yeah, but had about 10% of the crowd on their
Well,
side.
yeah,
If you looked around the
There
crowd,
was a lot of red and black in the crowd.
do you reckon there was anyone in the cheer squad of Gold Coast?
Yeah.
I don't think there was. I reckon they hire people to come
I
and
reckon
sit there.
Stewie Doo runs down.
Just waves
Pulls
the
double
flags.
duty. Waves the pies around. But on Dwayne Russell again, do you know what he said after the Essendon Suns game? So Essendon fucking just like by the
Just.
skin of their teeth
Yeah.
won that game. Dwayne Russell then proceeds to say, "Oh, they're scary good." You just fucking the first quarter they were fucking nearly 30 points down.
I know they actually got jumped quite. They've only been in front of 44% of their games. They've been
Yeah.
in front in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
44. They're less than half the
And
time.
They're a fourth quarter specialist team. But Dwayne Russell, fuck you, Dwayne. We can talk about Dwayne Russell a bit later on. Fucking
He's such a flog.
Such a dickhead.
He's got to go.
I fucking hate him.
I don't know why he's there. Do you know who I love though? Oh, you've got me on
He's
him.
been calling since like the early 2000s too, because I saw like a rewind game and he was calling it.
Oh.
I was like, what the fuck are you doing there, you mutt?
You rabbit.
You're rabbit.
You rabbit.
No.
What about I don't like it when lead commentators, so they're the head commentators, and then you've got the special commentators on the side.
Yeah.
But the head commentators should just be there to commentate the game. Like, as in, like, talk about it's a handball, the ball's in the back line, defensive 50 or whatever it is, and don't go into lingo English.
No,
you know,
I agree if you're not good enough. If you're Dennis Cometti or Bruce, it's the best when they have their little special comments. They say little funny things. But they're stalwarts of the game, you know? They're superstars. Absolute legends. They can get away with that shit. Dwayne Russell, you are a fucking sewer rat. You can't be doing... You are the pillow fart of the commentary
Commentators.
world.
And we don't use that word lightly because it's only really used
It's
for
a very
one
serious word.
one team.
Let's move on.
Okay, so what about, do you reckon Brett Ratton will coach St Kilda?
If he doesn't coach... I'd say he wants to. He probably, if it was offered to him, he'd take
We've
it.
said he's a good coach.
He should have never have stopped coaching. He had before he left Carlton, I think he had it was just over 50% win record.
With not a great team. They didn't have
not a great team. And that's not an amazing thing, but when you look at what happened to Carlton after he left,
That's right.
I don't know why they got rid of him.
So they've scored over 100 points in the last 2 games now, St Kilda. They look okay, but they handled Melbourne easily.
Yeah. They're looking reasonable.
They still need still a lot of water to go under the bridge. David Teague looks all right though.
David Teague looks absolutely fantastic at the moment, doesn't he?
Who else would you? They don't want him though, Carlton.
I think he's making it really hard for them, especially with
Yeah.
the supporters. So the supporters, they haven't had this many. I mean, you look at, what was it, 44 games? They had
4 wins from 44 games. Yeah.
4 from 44. All of a sudden,
Sounds bad,
they're 4 from 5.
They're 5 from 7.
Teague's coached them to more wins than they've had in
2 years.
In 2 years.
in a month.
In a month. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if majority of the supporters they'd be pumped right now.
Oh,
they want David Teague.
They
to
were
stick
the
around.
most excited I've seen them at a game for years. The
Yeah.
Carlton Wars on the weekend. They were going, and
Yeah.
full credit to them, they were going absolutely nuts. They were loud, they were vocal, they were supportive, and they went out in their droves. I think they had 40,000
Yeah.
there. So they're
Yep.
winning creates marketing,
Absolutely.
which makes more profit. So as
Yeah.
long as you're winning,
Yeah.
who cares who coaches?
And why wouldn't you just give him a 1-year deal?
What?
After this year?
Exactly right.
Yeah. I mean, and the other way that you look at it, there's going to be a lot of open spots. There's going to be a lot of coaches in demand.
Yeah.
Carlton might not be the biggest destination club for a coach.
They've got some good young players though, Carlton.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. But I think David Tate is making it really hard for them. Carlton supporters are probably going to want to keep him in. Why wouldn't you?
Try it for you could try.
The
it for
thing
you.
is,
there's no rush though as well because it's still. I mean, they're not going to make the finals.
No.
There's still 4 weeks to go. They've got Carlton. Carlton got Richmond. They got West Coast this week.
Yeah.
So they've got some challenging
they're
games.
not going to. I don't think they'll win another one.
And they've got Geelong away. So they've got 3 of the top 4 sides.
I don't think they'll win another one. But if they stay competitive,
But that's where you want to see. Because they've played pretty much teams in the bottom 8. They've got 3 top 4 sides coming up. That's where you're going to see how they go against them.
Yeah.
And against this week against West Coast, they're actually down here at Marvel, their traditional home.
It's a possibility.
We'll see the next month. But don't rush it. And the same with North Melbourne with Reece Shaw. They've lost 3 in a row. Arguably, they could have won their previous 2.
I think David Teague's got a better case at the moment.
Yeah, I do think so as well. But there's no need to rush these decisions because North aren't going to make the finals. Take your time with it.
Well, apparently Reece Shaw's already in.
No, but
He's got it.
So North have got North have still got Hawthorn this week. I think they've got Geelong away. They've still got a tough run to finish off. What if he loses his next 4 games and then they lose 7 in a row?
I mean, because everyone's all over, because there's this big wrap around the caretaker coaches, because they came in and they won a couple of games.
Yeah.
There's this big raps for them. So how pissed off, as you as a North supporter, let's say you win 1 or 2 of the next 3.
Yeah.
And they sign on Reece Shaw, and then next year it's back to how
back to where it was. That's what
back to where it was when Scotty was coaching.
That's right. And so you want another 10 years of mediocre football?
Yeah. And what if you sign Reece Shaw on for 2 years or 3 years?
But again,
You got these caretaker coaches. If they're going to become permanent coaches, give them a year.
Yeah.
And say, look,
trial them out.
The last year you only you barely coached half a season.
Yeah, you didn't have much run at it because
you didn't have much of a run.
You
Show us what you can do this year.
Yeah, in a pre-season with your team.
And we will decide.
Yeah.
And don't leave it too late. Decide it maybe round 18 next year. So we'll give you up to round 18 next year, and then we will answer whether or not you're going to be coaching this club. And if they're close enough to make the finals, give them another year.
Oh.
Yeah.
There you go. We've solved the coaching crisis issue.
I just don't know why it's such a big deal. I don't know why you have to lock in a coach for fucking 12 years.
Maybe bring back Wayne Carey as coach.
Did he have a coach?
No, but we need.
He wasn't even an assistant.
Doesn't matter. Wayne Carey on talking footy.
Oh.
He knows what he's talking
Wayne
about.
Carey's a flog.
Okay, let's move on.
Starting on Wayne Carey.
Let's talk about the flogs of the AFL though. The pillow farts, the power.
You have a chat. I'm going to get some more.
All right.
You want to top up? Or
No, you're all right. So we've got.
Whoa.
Stop hitting them. We've got Adelaide and Port
Holy.
at the moment sitting 9th and I think they're 12th. Port. They've dropped down. They're only game out the 8.
They can still make it.
They're just. I watched that game against the Giants, and no joke, they were behind by a point in that last quarter, for about 5 minutes, and they kept kicking it long, and they had that Finlayson back there,
Actually, maybe Port were.
and Phil Davis back there.
I think actually Port were number 1 for
Inside
50s, not Melbourne.
So this is the thing. So the coach drops Charlie Dixon. He drops Charlie Dixon, which is your full forward.
Why?
And you've got Phil Davis and Finlayson back there, taking mark after mark, saying thanks guys, thanks Port midfielders for
Fucking
kicking
racking it up.
That was their season on the line, and they blew it. So
is Hinkley gone?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah,
I think he's done. I think he's done. I think
it's too many years where Koshi's come out and said
he's backed him.
Not even backed him. Every year Koshi comes out and he's like, oh, it's whether or not we make the finals.
And they're not making the finals.
And they don't make the finals.
They don't make the finals. They're going to miss it for the 4th time in 5 years. They won't make the finals.
They won't make the finals.
There's too many teams above them.
The Doggies will make the finals. They won't make the finals.
So Hinkley will be out. Brad Scott will be in.
You reckon they'll get Brad Scott?
Well, because every other coach will be gone, so they'll get Brad Scott. And then Hinkley will come to North.
Yeah, I have a feeling something like that.
Hinkley will come to North.
Yeah.
Or Hinkley will go to Freo and they'll swap over with Ross Lyon.
Nah, if Ross Lyon's going anywhere, it's St Kilda.
No, they're done with that. They're done with that one. I wouldn't mind as North having Hinkley or Ross Lyon, to be perfectly honest. But I think
really
time is done.
You want Ross Lyon?
On Port Adelaide,
Ross Lyon comes in and he's they're playing defence.
on Port Adelaide. Everyone plays defensive games anyway, and that's boring. That's why the fans don't go. Anyway, the Port are done this year. Just their cross-town team, though, next door, Adelaide.
Oh, the mighty Adelaide Crows.
Well, they're not so mighty at the moment. You know, your mate, Josh Jenkins.
My mate,
the worst player in the AFL.
Well, you'll look, you don't get to see enough of him, but next year you will.
He had 6 touches on the weekend. He's the worst footballer, Josh Jenkins. He's gangly.
And it's going to take him
He's
to
got
go
a very
north.
ugly face.
Oh, wow, you're getting very personal.
And he's just not a great footballer. It's time for Josh Jenkins to retire, or for them to just bar him from the AFL.
They're going to trade him.
He's not coming to North.
He's going north.
Nah, he'll go to Sydney.
Sorry, he'll
go to Sydney.
He will not go to Sydney.
He'll go to Sydney.
What the fuck does Sydney need?
Because Franklin is injured.
They don't need
Always.
Jenkins.
Who else they got?
Jenkins will go to North because they need a second man.
We got Larkey. Nick Larkey. That's who we've got. But yeah, Adelaide are in crisis at the moment, apparently, the Crows. 9-9. They're still, funnily enough.
But the only win that it was against the Gold Coast in like the past, 5 weeks?
Yeah, that's right. They've won 9 games this year, Adelaide. For whatever reason, however they are doing it, they are still in the 8. Like they're
it's amazing.
It is amazing.
The person who ends up getting that 8th spot
will be the worst.
They're going to have more losses than wins for the season.
It actually could happen.
It's going to happen. I think Nick was looking at it on the weekend.
10 wins.
It's very likely that it's going to be a club with more losses than wins.
And this makes the idea that the AFL want to bring in a wild card weekend to give teams like 9th, 10th, and 11th
so let's
a
give
chance.
these fucking shit teams chances to clog up the finals. Fuck.
What a joke that is.
The wild card works if those teams are in form. I mean, if it's a really tight fucking race with good clubs between 7 and what is it? 7 and 10.
10.
You know, if it's really good clubs in there and they've been fighting it out and it's like percentage alone that's sort of kept them out of the 8, then it might work. But
they're not good clubs.
You can't go on season by season basis.
They're not good
this
clubs
year,
though.
If we had a wild card round and you had fucking Port Adelaide
or
worse,
or Bulldogs
or St Kilda
or Hawthorn
fighting it out.
Are any of these teams capable of challenging the top 6? Then why have
I mean, fucking Essendon's going to Essendon will probably finish 7th.
Or 6.
Or 6, and they're not capable of challenging anyone inside.
So why reward mediocrity then?
I don't know. Because it's exciting.
That's what Gil's sitting there for. He's sitting there going, oh, how are we going to reward
No,
mediocrity?
you know, fucking Hutchie rings him every day and says, let's do the wild card. Because Hutchie's obsessed with the NFL.
Yeah.
Is it the NFL that does the wild card?
The NFL does. The NFL does the wild
the
card.
NFL.
No, but that's different though. So, for example, with the NFL, they have 32 teams.
Yeah.
And then the top 4 the top 4
Yeah.
of those 32 teams go straight through to the second week.
Yeah.
And then they have 8 teams after that, which is the wild card. So you actually have...
No, fuck that.
For example, you only have 8... The top 12 teams are still playing off of 32. So top 12.
No, I like the way we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like our way.
If you have 8 teams out of 18...
If you make top 4, you get a second chance. I like
top 8 out of 18 teams, you're rewarding good teams consistency. You're not rewarding a mediocre side 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Like how far do you want to go down? Would you want to reward? So you only have to finish 12th and you got a chance to make the finals.
That's stupid. I reckon
So you can lose 15 games, but you got a chance to make the finals.
I reckon if a team coming in 8th spot, finishing 8th on the ladder, have more losses than wins, then they should be barred from the finals.
For 10 years.
And the number 1 team gets a bye. And everything pushes down.
Everything pushes down.
Yeah, and the number 1 team gets a bye. A team that has more losses than wins
and gets
no right
to be it. That's right.
No right playing in the finals.
No, I agree.
You should be automatically
unless
excluded.
you finish 8th, which is what could happen.
That's what I'm saying. If you're finishing 8th on more losses than wins, then
you're lucky to be there.
Then you should get a priority pick because you're that shit. Because it's not hard to make. It is not hard to make the 8 this year.
No, it's not.
Really not. This is probably the easiest year to make the 8.
Yeah.
But all the clubs are so fucking mediocre.
Yeah.
And just fucking middle of the road.
Yeah. It's a good point.
It is a good point.
And they all say, all the media goes, it's just so great to see great finals chase, but it's actually you're watching poor teams,
and it's not teams that have like it's gone down to the wire and both teams have been really good. It's been shellackings. Like these clubs in positions where they're not travelling too well and they're pretty much 50-50. They're not losing games because they played a team that was in good form and they just sort of missed the chocolates. They're getting fucking destroyed.
They're getting beat.
Yeah. They are that poor. They are so good one week and so poor the next week. Yeah, as you said, inconsistency shouldn't be rewarded.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the way to do it. You want to see the best teams play in final. That's why you have a regular season to compete and to qualify for the top 8 because you want to reward the teams that
Look, what we really need is
we
need 2 more clubs. That's what we really need.
We don't want a top 10.
2 more clubs. We need another one in Queensland.
And the Hobart Shoes.
You know what? No, we need another one in Queensland and we'll put another fucking one in Sydney.
Why do we need another one in Sydney?
Because Tasmania just don't have the economy for a football. So let's have 9 Sydney teams and 42 Gold Coast Brisbane teams. We'll chuck in. You know, you'd be better off putting in a fucking another Adelaide team
or Alice
WA team.
We'll bring in Alice Springs.
Have a fucking Alice Springs.
What about Christmas Island team?
Why not? Let's bring the Tiwi Bombers to the AFL, and that way Cyril can be back in the AFL.
I miss Cyril.
Alright,
so just on quick notes, Sam Wright from North Melbourne has just retired. And Dale Morris did his knee
dead.
again.
Oh,
he's dead.
So he died.
And chopped his leg off.
How old is he?
He's 35.
Oh, is he
35.
That's old?
35. So if he's going to do a
36.
full reconstruction of the knee,
He can't come back.
I would love to. I think if you get some good, like they've got some good defenders, and let Dale Morris just be like a 3rd or 4th option, he could do that.
He can't come back.
I think he'll come back. He loves it. He loves it.
So, oh, hang on. Can I just say?
No, you can't.
I can. I've got to remember what it was first. So hang on. So Eddie Betts was dropped.
Yeah.
As you predicted it. Good on you. Or you at least raised the question.
Just high five.
So in instances like that where you drop an absolute living
Superstar.
Legend who's
Super
getting a bit old,
he's 32.
who do you bring
That's
in?
us in 3 years.
I know, we're old. Who do you bring in? You bring in a young guy, don't you? You bring in a young player, give him some game time. Do you know who they brought in for Eddie Betts? Andy Orton. So you got Adelaide, the oldest team. I think they're like, if they're not the oldest, they're the second oldest team.
They're the oldest
being
team.
fielded in the AFL.
Yeah, they're the oldest team.
You drop an absolute once in a lifetime player who's not in great form at the moment, and you don't bring in a young bloke to get some game time into him for the future of your fucking club. You bring it. I know the name, but fuck knows who the fuck Andy Otten is. I thought he was fucking. When I heard it, I'm like, Brad Otten's the fucking ruckman. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Andy Otten. Who is he? Is he a small forward? Who is he?
No, he's a backman.
He's a backman.
He's a tall backman. He's a key position player.
So they've dropped Eddie Betts, a small forward, and they've brought in Andy Otten, who is a tall backman. Look at Wally. Look at that leg action. Look at these ones. Fuck, it makes more sense to bring in Wally for Eddie Betts.
He'd move quicker.
Oh,
He'd move quicker.
No, fuck.
But this is why they're the pillow farts' brother.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
We need a name. We need to think of a name for our lady.
Adelaide and Port Adelaide need to merge.
Well,
imagine the supporters, they'd kill themselves.
What would they be called?
The Abominations. The Adelaide Abominations. Koshi would remain president.
You reckon?
Yep. We bring in... Who can we bring in as coach? Mick Malthouse as coach. Kevin Sheedy as footy ops manager. Kevin Sheedy's the runner. And they bring back Warwick Kappa. They bring back the Wiz.
The Wiz.
We'll just see how we go.
I've got this thing from one of my clients, old clients, and one of my friends. She actually she's made us t-shirts for the Fend off.
Why?
In the Philippines. She's made us t-shirts.
Oh, is this
Brenda?
Shout out to Brenda.
Shout out to Brenda. She's our only fan. She's made t-shirts.
No way.
We've got the Fend off logo and stuff,
so nice.
and a quote on the back.
Oh, that's sweet. What's the quote?
Get fucked. It's not anyway, they're being shipped over at the moment.
No way.
Legit.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank
Yeah.
you, Brenda. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, I know. But anyway,
Number one fan.
she commented on Nick's top 8 and she didn't like it. So
Oh, did she? Oh, no one.
she
likes
may
it.
have, but I just said.
Who
she
does
didn't like
Brenda
it.
go for? Who does she support?
I actually don't know,
She
but she got 9 tips last week. She got them all right.
Really? So she didn't listen to us?
She didn't listen to you. She listened to me. She didn't listen to you. She listened to me. Anyway, she's got her top 8.
All right.
Look at how detailed
That
it
is. That's better than Nick's one.
Well, I can't understand the top part, but she's got in the bottom square here the top 8. So she's got Geelong finishing top, Richmond second,
Yeah.
West Coast third, Brisbane fourth. So you got Geelong playing Brisbane. Will that be played at GMHB or MCG?
Geelong and Brisbane.
Yeah,
The G.
hope so.
100%.
Richmond play West Coast at the G.
Yeah.
On the other qualifier, and you got the Giants hosting the Crows
Yeah.
at Giant Stadium, and then Essendon play Collingwood on.
I just don't want that to happen.
It's going to happen.
I know.
And speaking of which, they've actually come out with the draw for round 23,
yeah.
and Collingwood play Essendon
Friday night.
Friday night. Now, this is what I don't understand. Before we get into the games, just quickly, just quickly get onto the games. So they've got a floating fixture at the end, right? Where they choose the team, they choose the matchups or the schedule.
They choose the
They choose the schedule.
What the
So the only reason why they chose the schedule is because about 4 years ago, remember when North Melbourne played Richmond in the final game, and they dropped about 8 or 9 players. They rested them because then they were more like because they were going to play each other the week later in the final.
Yeah.
They brought them all back in North 1 in the final.
Yeah.
So they brought in the floating fixture where they don't want teams. They want to give teams the most appropriate rest prior to the finals.
Yeah.
But then they have a
They
bye.
don't buy. What's the point?
What's the point?
There is no point.
There is no.
What's the point of having a buy?
I don't understand. Just go straight into the finals.
Because we already know Geelong are going to come out and lose.
That's true.
After the buy.
100% buy record of losses for Cats. The Cats should be advocating for no buys at all in the.
Yeah,
throughout the year.
they don't want fucking buy. What
No
do they
way.
want buys for?
They should actually organise either another game during that bye with the maybe Hobartians or like another team below, like a VFL side, so that way they're primed. But why would you have a bye or a floating fixture? Why have both if they're going to counteract each other? What's the point?
I don't know. These questions.
They're so dumb, the AFL. Like, they're so dumb. Like, who is in charge of this stuff?
Dylan.
Oh, that's why he's
He's
upset.
half fucking asleep all the time. What drugs do you reckon he's on? He's on something. He pops the
Valium. He'd be on Valium.
Valium for sure.
Valium.
For Gil. Absolutely, 100%.
He looked like he was stoned or he was high.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
Let's move to this week's games. There's only 4 weeks to go. We got North Melbourne.
Fuck.
North Melbourne Hawthorn on Friday night. I'm going for the Kangas. Hawthorn probably out of the race for the 8 because that lost to Brisbane last week, which I picked, just to let you know.
Can we come back?
Okay.
I don't know. No, alright, hang on, fuck. I'll just pick one.
Well, that's what I asked you, so you got to pick one.
Yeah, North.
North? Just go with North.
Yeah.
The 20,000 fans there will want you to go for North, alright?
Going for North. I don't want to, but I am.
Not a big game, don't need to watch it, just go for North. Essendon on Saturday.
I really like it. Win.
Look at those W's.
Oh, win.
Essendon hosting Port Adelaide at Marvel Stadium, Essendon's traditional home, on the 3rd of August. Essendon hosting the Pillow Farts.
I really feel like Port's going to win.
They're not going to win.
Essendon are going to have to drop a game to one of these subpar teams, but I'm going to go with Essendon.
I'm going to go with Essendon too. The Giants coming off 2 big wins and the amazing performance of Phil Davis and Finlayson. That marking was unreal. Hosting the Swans in, this is actually a derby, guys, the Battle of the Bridge. Probably the worst name of all of them.
That's a shocker.
I don't know who comes up with the names.
Gil.
That's a pretty poor Gil. That's why he's.
I think it was,
that's why he's depressed again.
I think it was Kevin Sheedy, wasn't it?
Did he?
I think it was
The Battle of the Bridge.
Yeah, I think because in his when he was coaching.
It's just because it's so long a name.
But
like,
it's just such a Kevin Sheedy idea to have the Battle of the Bridge. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I'm going for GWS.
I hate it. The reason why we don't talk about Sydney anymore is because I think they're one of the most boring teams.
What's the point?
What's the point in talking about Sydney?
But they're a young team.
No, they're just a boring
They're a
team.
young team,
John
Samuel.
Longmire is a very overrated coach.
They're a young team.
Very overrated coach.
You know what we're going to do?
What are we going to do?
I'll tell us in a sec. I'll tell you.
Okay, so I'm going for the Giants.
Yeah, the Giants. Yeah.
Alright.
El Giants.
Freo hosting Geelong at Optus Stadium.
Geelong.
Young on for the Cats.
Although Geelong have been going, win us.
Tom Hawkins, though, came back into form on the weekend, kicked 5 goals in his 250th.
In a milestone. A lot of players don't arc up for the milestone.
But he did.
Usually they go quiet. But he certainly did. He had a rip schnorrer. Fucking barn burner.
I'm going for the Cats. Do you reckon how many out on the fools will Gary Ablett kick on this? The
Oh,
over-under is 4.
Say none.
Okay.
Because he's only kicked one in his fucking lifetime, but he really made up for the
That
fact
was
that he's never had
that
one.
one that he that when
It was terrible.
That was hot. It
was the worst.
It was
on
the worst kick.
I've ever seen in the history of the AFL.
It was the best looking drop
It
punt.
was a beautiful
It was
kick.
the best looking drop punt.
It just didn't go. I don't even know where was he trying to put it, kicking it that hard and high.
I don't know. I don't think he was there. Like I don't think he was
wasn't.
there.
It wasn't Gary Ablett. It was
I
a
don't- there was someone- it
reincarnation
was-
of like Paul Chapman.
It was
Harley fucking.
It was Tom Harley.
Tom Harley.
It was Tom Harley. But I reckon I reckon at quarter or whenever it happened, I reckon they would have gone into the hole and they would have been like, "Are you alright?"
Gary, kick it to the
Gary,
cheese.
are you alright?
Cheese squad.
Are you okay?
I was kicking it to the fans.
All the players would come up and go, "Gary, are you okay? Is everything alright?" Because that
They'd
was
be like, Jesus didn't guide that one, did he, Gary?
we love Gary.
We like Gary.
I'm going for the Cats. Their big win. They will win again.
Yeah, the Cats.
Ross Lyon will not be Freo coach next year.
No.
I don't think so.
I think he will.
I don't reckon he's.
I reckon he will.
I don't think so.
I hope not, but I reckon he will.
I just you know what? It'd be great to see Ross Lyon go to North Melbourne. I'd like to have.
Why do you want him in North Melbourne?
Because I don't mind. He's taken St Kilda to 2 grand finals, and he's taken Freo. He took Freo to a grand
Did
final.
they win one? Did they win any of them?
No. You need Ross Lyon to take you to a grand final. In the grand final.
You just need Ross Lyon to take you.
Yes, in the grand final, you substitute him. The substitute rule. Or just tag him
Now,
out.
why do you want him at North? The first thing you do when he gets to North is he goes up to Ben and he's like, Ben, so is it really important if we're kicking goals? We're going to defend,
I want you to run around.
and then you can go and kick your goals after that. Because the thing is, all we have to do is if they kick 1 goal, we kick 2. That's all that matters. Fucking fuck off. Fuck the next game. So I reckon if we've got enough time, we'll just quickly run through the Melbourne list because I think it's such a cracking list.
Okay.
It's such a piss poor game.
Okay,
if
so
we've got time.
Melbourne are hosting Richmond at the G on Saturday
And
night.
Richmond are also win.
Whoa. I reckon they'll win this from Richmond.
Ooh, Richmond.
So if you go to this game and if you buy a...
If you're Nick, you're 100% sure that Melbourne are going to win because they're the best ever team to sit in 7th.
If you go to this game and if you buy a cardboard cutout that says goal on it, and if you're waving it around at half time at this game and the camera spans on you and you're waving it around like this, like a crackpot,
Yeah.
you win a Jaguar.
Fuck off.
No joke.
Well, Melbourne supporters won't be able to wave it around because they're
'Cause
going to kick like fucking 2.
No, but it's half time, man.
That's hard.
So, but the camera always spans across the southern stand side,
And
so you've got to be standing around there.
they always fucking. It's always someone on one of the lower to mid levels.
Yeah.
Never someone up in the nosebleeds. So don't take your signs.
And you've got to give it to a cool person because uncool people.
They generally give it to kids.
Yeah, they're not going to drive a Jaguar. You got to give it to a cool person. You know, someone that doesn't know, someone that's unworthy of a Jaguar.
They're going to give it to like a middle-aged woman.
of course,
100%.
100%.
100%.
I'll bet you $1.
But I agree with you.
All right, I'll bet you $1 they won't.
Look, no, we'll have the same bet, and if we lose, we give $1 to Wally.
Okay. All right.
We don't do that because it ends up being your $1 anyway.
Let's go. Saturday night, Adelaide hosting St Kilda. I'm going for St Kilda. I just don't like Adelaide.
I'm going for Adelaide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sunday, Collingwood against the Suns.
Ha.
Jeez.
Fuck Collingwood's run home. Collingwood would be super shit.
Have you seen their injury list,
I've
though?
seen it. Mate, well, alright, do you want to go through Collingwood's injuries or Melbourne's
Well, yeah.
squad?
I'm going for Collingwood to win this.
Oh, yeah, I'm going for Collingwood.
All right, last couple. Oh, probably the game of the round. Not the game of the round. Carlton versus... Oh, no, it could be. Carlton versus West Coast at Marvel. Both teams have won 4 out of 5.
As much as I want to pick Carlton, just for the upset, I can't. I can't do it.
I think this will be a close game. I think Carlton
I think it'd be a good
played
game.
well last
Yeah,
week and
I
have
think
showed
it'd be a
good efforts, and they've got some very good young players, and they'll take it up to the Eagles. I wouldn't be surprised if Carlton wins, but I'll go for the Eagles.
I'm going for the Eagles.
Brisbane, who've won 6 in a row,
Win.
win. Play against the Bulldogs, who are fighting for their finals lives.
Win, lost, win.
I'm going to go for the Lions, though.
Yeah, the Lions.
They look pretty good. They got that bloke in the number 9.
Mighty Lion.
Lockie Neal, he's playing alright. And they got the little bloke up forward who Adelaide got rid of. Who they could have brought in to replace Eddie Betts.
Who are the Lions?
Charlie
Cameron. They didn't get rid of him. Charlie wanted to leave.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because they didn't
I
like
think they wanted to keep him. Charlie wanted to leave.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay, so what do you want to talk about with the... let's talk about the Melbourne list.
Well, do you want to pull it up?
I'll pull up
And just while you're pulling it up, Dwayne... So this is what I was telling you earlier, how Dwayne Russell, just the fucking greatest commentator of all time. So Josh Jenkins copped Anita... Not Josh Jenkins. Sean McKernan, little Corey from McKernan. Little Sticks. Oh, look at that. That's a nice...
No, that's the Casey Demons.
Oh, well, we don't fucking care about that. So he copped an end of the ribs, and, he could have broken a rib or could have fucking done some damage to his lung.
Wait, this is in the Suns Essendon game?
Yeah,
okay.
and what does Dwayne Russell do? He starts fucking laughing. Oh, he could have really hurt himself there. He could have some broken rib. Shut the fuck up! Getting your fucking phone calls, ruining the recording. You don't even know how to decline a call. Have to restart the recording.
Sorry, I'll get it up.
Oh, we can't even restart the recording. Don't even listen to the fucking recording. Just watch the fucking video. I'm done with that. What a dickhead.
Yeah, he was absolute dickhead. Like, absolute dickhead.
Absolute knob.
So, but if someone's physically hurts on the field,
Why would you laugh?
you don't start laughing.
Why would you laugh?
You don't start laughing.
What an idiot. He ended up being okay, but still, at the time.
He probably wasn't laughing when he was okay. It wasn't funny enough.
No, it's not funny.
He's like, oh, he's got up. That's not funny.
Oh, fuck.
So who got hurt?
Imagine if he died. He
Who
would
got
have pissed
hurt?
himself.
It would have been.
Is Sean McKernan.
Well, it's Sean McKernan. I mean, let's be honest. He's not
Corey's favourite little brother.
Is that his little brother?
Yeah. Little brother.
Little.
Yeah,
Very young.
I think he's our age.
Oh, wow.
Sean
There you go.
McKernan.
Corey's certainly not.
No, Corey.
All right. You want to
How similar are
All right,
they?
let's go through. You
Aren't
want
they
to?
so similar?
They are, but Corey's better.
They're just a fucking
Corey won the Common Medal one year. He kicked 100 goals in one year.
Sean just hasn't had the correct opportunity because he was pissed away at Adelaide.
Correct. Yeah, see, Adelaide. Everyone at Adelaide, mate. All right, so you want to go through the list of Melbourne?
All right. So look at that. Stephen May.
Yeah.
Injured at the moment, I think.
Yeah.
But fucking good player.
Nathan Jones.
Good player.
Christian Salem.
Good player.
James Harms.
I don't like him. He's a good player.
Christian Protaka.
Good player.
Jordan Lewis.
Good old head to have around the club.
Jack Viney.
Good player.
Jake Lever.
Good player.
Charlie Spargo.
Decent player.
Angus Brayshaw.
Great player.
Max Gorn.
Amazing player.
Toby Bedford.
I don't know.
Clayton Oliver.
Good player.
Michael Hibbert.
Great defender.
He's not a great defender. He's a good defender.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
fall out of shot here. Hibbert is a fucking star.
Is that because you got a bit of Essendon bias?
Nah, nope.
Billy Stretch.
You tell me. He's alright, isn't he?
He stretches the
He's
field.
pretty good. He's pretty good.
Cade Colin Jasmine.
Injured for the rest of the year, but a good
Sam
player.
Frost. Dud.
Well, you're just going by how he looks.
Jake Melsham. He does. He looks like a dud.
Melsham, decent player.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
He's actually in the seconds at the moment, running around.
Yeah. Fair enough too. But he's a good player in a good team. He'd be a good hand to have.
Yeah,
on a
he
good
was
team.
good last
He
year.
was great last year, and he was good for times this year as well.
Mitch Hannon.
He's alright, isn't he? Who is he?
I don't know. Braden Preuss.
Bruce is alright. He's a good hand
He's
to have.
good. Aaron Vandenberg.
You tell me about that.
James
I don't
Jordan.
know him.
So now we're getting into the real crux of the issue.
now we get it.
Jay Kennedy Harris.
Don't
know. Tom McDonald.
Could be good in a good team.
If he had Jesse around, he'd be a
If
great
he had
player.
Jesse Hogan around, he'd be a star.
Sam Wiedemann, apparently a good player.
Injured for the rest of the year, but good player.
Aaron Nitschke. Nitschke.
Let's skip. Oscar McDonald.
Oscar McDonald was supposedly a good player.
Oscar McDonald.
Jaden Hunt.
He's a good player.
Don't like his headband, but okay.
But he's a good player.
He's a good player. Alex Neil Bourne.
I think he's
I
alright.
think he's alright, yeah. Bailey Fritsch, apparently.
He's not bad. Yeah.
Tom Sparrow.
He's a young, good player. I had him in my super coach for a little bit this year, and he gave me a lot of money. So
It's Oscar
made a lot of
Baker.
money off him.
Oscar Baker.
I don't know. I like his photo. He looks very cheeky.
Look at that little moustache there he's got
Yeah, he
going.
looks like a cheeky little fella. He looks like a funny Patrick Dangerfield instead of just the wet sock that we have as Patrick Dangerfield.
You don't like Dangerfield.
Neither do you.
Marty Hall.
Marty Hall is going to be a great player. Absolute star.
Harrison Petty. Don't know. Jeff
Jeffy
Garlett.
Garlett.
Apparently a good
Jeffy
player.
Garlett.
Neville Jetta. Apparently a good
Neville
player.
Jetta.
Josh Wagner. Apparently.
Who knows?
And Joel Smith.
So we've just gone
At
through that
least
list.
20 players there.
That is a good fucking 80%
Yeah.
of players that we actually fucking knew as well.
Mm.
I mean, there were only about 4 or 5 that we didn't know.
And they played last year.
And we went through St Kilda's list last 2 weeks ago. Fucking, we had no idea what was going on. I reckon we knew 10. We knew. What's his name? Fucking old mate.
Bruce.
We know Bruce and fucking
Robert Harvey.
that little thing. What's that
Robert
little
Harvey.
fella? The little fella.
Gresham.
Nah, the little fella.
Gresham.
That little, you know that little
Jack
fella.
Stevens.
Billings.
Billy.
And that was it.
It's-
And we're like, where's Rewalk?
so what are you saying? Is that not the players?
I'm saying it cannot be the players.
It's the coach.
It has to be. That is a fucking that's a premiership winning list. You win a premiership with that list.
Well, they nearly did last year.
I know.
They're winning something this year. It could be
Unbelievable.
Could be wooden and rounded.
No, I don't think they'll quite get there, but fuck, it wouldn't surprise me if they did. How much time we got?
That's it. That's it. What's we're gonna
Do
do.
you want to go through Collingwood's injuries?
All right, we'll go through Collingwood's injuries.
That'll be a quick one. How much time have we got?
Nah, we'll leave it till next week. Actually, we'll see how Collingwood go.
Nah, we can do it.
No, well, I've got to get this up. So apparently, though, if you look at they've got a lot of players.
I looked at it the other day. It's unfucking believable.
It's pretty
their
bad.
injury list.
It's pretty bad. Let's not lie about it. You know what? Everyone doesn't want to blame injuries, but sometimes
But it's 50%.
they've got
injuries in their
27
case.
players to pick from this week. 27.
It's incredible.
It is bad.
They've got 18 players.
See, if you scroll through AFL.com, they've got like injury lists of teams. But if you scroll through Collingwood, it goes over. Look at that! It's like
That's
3
unbelievable.
pages.
All right, let's just go.
I see, like,
We've got Taylor Adams.
He's a starter. James
James
Age
Age.
could be a starter.
Dane B.
He's a starter.
Well,
Bulson Valugi. Don't know.
Jordan
Dugali.
Dugali.
He's a starter. Lyndon Dunn.
Could be a
Starter. Levi Greenwood
Greenwood.
could be a starter. Will Kelly, not. Tom Langdon, that's a starter.
Darcy
Moore, that's a starter.
Uh,
Nathan Murphy, probably
Who's
not.
available?
Sam Murray.
That's the
He
starter.
got an starter? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, no, the results haven't come in yet. John
John
Noble.
Noble, not. Tom Phillips. I've heard of him. He's played a bit of games, but he's not playing.
He's
Could
a
be a
commentator
starter.
for the WWE.
Oh, he's Isaac Quaynor
Ben Reed.
could be a starter.
Better than Mason Cox.
Roughhead.
Jordan Roughhead.
Could be a star. Oh, is a starter. Brandon Sire.
Sire. He's a starter. Jaden. Wow, it's not really an injury.
He's a
but-
starter though.
And Daniel Wells.
Starter.
Starter.
They've got 14 players out that could be starters.
It's unbelievable.
So if
It's
you're
fucking
if
ridiculous.
anyone that says injuries aren't a concern, that they've got 14 first name players
I mean,
out.
if you're an absolute champion team, doesn't matter.
No.
But it's got to be at least 50% of the reason why they haven't been crash hot.
Yeah,
It
100%.
has to be.
Mate,
That's an unbelievable injury list. Unbelievable.
so if they even got half of those players back, they'd be with a shot, I reckon.
That'd have to be.
But that's
There's some real fucking
it's a
stars
real
in that
reason
list.
why they won't probably make an impact in September, because those injuries aren't just short-term injuries.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have a great few weeks coming up because they got the miracle draw. But after that, bit of trouble, and I don't even know how many of those players are going to be able to come back.
At the level that requires for finals.
Stevenson will come back for finals, but
You might be on the Gold Coast though.
he's
Just chill.
probably having a punt. But yeah, I think we're done.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today on the Fend Off podcast. Next week we'll hopefully have Nick Van Niel back. But
Pen drop.
this was cozy, so we'll see how it goes. But thanks for joining us. If you want to have any comments or if you want to ask any questions, please feel free to check out the Facebook page as well.
Let's do some viewer questions.
Viewer
next
questions, yeah. Send in anything,
Brenda, I'm looking at you.
stuff that you want to ask,
question.
and we'll bring up your questions and we'll answer the best of our abilities. In the meantime, have a good week. Hope your team wins, and we'll see you then.